Welcome back, everybody. So I'm deciding to take a break from Railroads Online. Currently the developers are trying to fix some of the major issues with some of the bigger maps out there that have been created. So y'all just have to be patient until the updates roll out. That's what I'm trying to do, trying to be patient. So what are we playing here today? We are playing Derail Valley. Now Derail Valley is somewhat like Railroads Online, except it's not actually online. One of the perks of Derail Valley that you can actually play this in VR. But so what is Derail Valley? Basically, you build up yourself a career in railroading. Basically, you run trains to make money, buy licenses, so they can run bigger and better trains, and you just continue on with the grind. Now the equipment is given to you. Let's see, currently we only have a couple of shunters here. That's actually okay. Oh, there's my big Buddha. I was wondering if that was still out here. But we're only going to need to run one of these. So let's fire one up. Now this is their big diesel. Definitely a big upgrade from the shunter. Basically you get this behemoth right here, and then the little engines, those are for when you start out. And then we also have a steam engine. It is a 282 lightweight Mikado. And correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I believe that's what it is. So let's fire this bad boy up. Now thankfully we don't have like a bunch of breakers to flip on this sucker. We just have these. We flip those through, those three right here. Flip the big one. Shut that. Come out here. Now this doesn't actually function, unfortunately. I kind of wish it did. Now on a normal engine you would pull like a little button up here somewhere. I forget what it's used for, but and then you would prime your engine. Prime with oil and diesel, whatever. And then crank it. Lucky for us, this one fires right up. Now we're just going to shut our door. And we're going to disconnect these guys. Because we just don't need them. And of course you can teleport around. Now, it has been a while since I played Derail Valley. So U, increase your throttle. Y is decrease. Let's see, what does the LK do? That's also K is to decrease the little handbrake there. And then you've got a train brake. Push it forward to decrease your pressure. Pull it back to increase your pressure. Then we got a horn here. Then this one you can play around the lights. Now the outside lights don't really work. It's just there. The bell button doesn't work yet. We also have a sound button down here. And then that red button, that shuts the engine down. Now, like I said, it's been a while since I played this, so for starters, we have a wallet. That's where all your money goes. As you can tell, I have 339,467.91 cents. We have a pocket watch. This is a bonus that you can buy off one of the shops in the game. We have a station map, or the station booklet. Schematic station maps. This is the little booklet you get in the beginning. This tells you how each individual town and freight yard is laid out and what location is where. We have our comms radio. Use this for switching. Re-rail your cars or your engine. Clear the track. This is a bonus. Press the crew vehicle. Then we have our world map. This tells you where we're at in the game. Currently we're at Steel Mill. This here is a bonus. You can also get this from the shop. This is our loco remote. Okay. Power this up. Now, if you don't feel like sitting inside your engine, you can just use this. So now we're going to handle the reverser. So H is to go in reverse, use the J button, back to neutral, then forward. It's pretty easy to learn this. So let's go ahead and give her a little bit of juice and get her moving. Now, unfortunately, you can't use this on the steam engine. I wish I really wish you could. That'd be awesome. Now we're just gonna give her a little bit of juice like that, just so we can move her. Now, in some areas, there are speed restrictions. Normally, I go through yards like this, about 20 to 25. That's about as fast as I take it. A nice thing about switches in this game, they automatically flip over for you if you're coming into them like that. Otherwise, you will have to flip them manually if you're coming in from the other direction. Now we're going to go hop off here, go past our switch, and we're going to break our engine right there. Flip. Now let's go into the yard. Let's leave our train parked there for just a minute. We need to figure out what train we can take. Now, when it comes to jobs, there are 3 different types here. You've got your freight, your logistical, and your shunting. Freight is what you can move to make money. Basically go from one location to another. That's all loaded up cars. That's money makers right there. Logistical hauls, that's just empty cars. There's a little bit of money there. Shunting? No? That pretty much explains itself there. Basically all you do is moving cars around the yard. Either you're unloading them, or you're loading them up, splitting a train, making a train, that sort of thing. Let's make a little bit of money here. Let's go to Harbor in Town with this one. I like this. Our train is still out there, so let's go and find this job. So we're looking for SH282. That's what we want to find. Just put that away in our inventory. Make sure this matches. SH282. This is it. This is the train we're going to look up to. Now, where is this going? This is going back towards Harbor and Town. So we want to look at our world map. We are currently at Steel Mill, right where the little blue dot is. And basically we want to go to the south, east. Which means we have to spin, well, don't have to spin a locomotive around. That's the nice thing about these big diesels. That, or we can just push the train. We could try doing that, because I've never really pushed an entire train. So let's try to do that. Make it real simple and easy on us. So we want to go ahead and get our switches prepped. All of our switches are now prepped. So let's go back to our loco remote. This guy. So let's slip it in reverse. Take our brake off. Give it some juice. Not too fast, not too fast. There we go, slower down just a tad bit. Jump up here. And we're going to wait for our diesel to approach. Now you really want to keep an eye on your train, make sure it doesn't hit the train too hard. Otherwise you're gonna mess this train up. Your train can and will take damage. This is a nice thing we have in the remote. You can see just exactly how fast your engine is moving. And couple. As you see here, our coupler has attached itself, and our lines are connected. That's a nice thing about this remote. Quick and easy. Now we are going to Harbor and Freight. Before we can go out there, we have to submit this job. So go ahead and put in the job validator. It gives us this booklet. B20, that's where the train was located at. We're going to Harbor in Town. And we're going to stop at E8I. Now, we'll worry about that when we get there. We'll get close enough. Now, let's do some operations here. Let's get it rolling. As you can tell, all switches are popping over for us. Normally I would be sitting inside the cab, but we're kind of going backwards here, so we kind of need to monitor our speed from here. Now we have a speed limit of 6, so that means we need to go 60 or negative 60 according to the remote here. Pretty straightforward. See, we got a max speed of 8, which is negative 80, but so we can just keep increasing our throttle little by little. But we really don't want to go that fast. So we're kind of just going to let it hang right about there. Too much. There we go. Got 9, but we're not going to go that fast going up here. Look at this right here. Record train just a little bit. Come on. Give her some juice going up this hill. Okay, we got 7. Break our trains a little bit. We have another 7 going into the switch. Now this should be a relatively flat track. So we can go ahead and increase our speed now. We have an 8, which is good. Right through here, it's all flat track, so we can just coast. As we get smacked in the face by branches. Now all of our switches should be preset going back up there. So really we're just going through this mountainous terrain. So we'll be passing through a couple of tunnels. As we make our way towards our destination. Now once we get to harbor and town, there might be 1 or 2 steam engines that we can run. Increase our throttle a bit so we can get around this curve. Now if you start hearing sparks off your wheels just like you just did there, let off the throttle a little bit. Because really you don't want to go too fast. Look at this. Okay, it looks like we have a downgrade. So we need to start applying our air brakes. Coming down this hill. Now I know from experience that speed drastically changes coming through here, so we need to... Yep, we got 4. So, hit them air brakes. Oof. That's a nice thing about air brakes. Whoa! Every once in a while you might experience a little bit of a leg spike. That's probably because of my graphics card. I do have a 3060 that's a 12 gigabyte, but there's 2 programs trying to run it at once. And they're in conflict. So I have to deal with that. I don't know why I haven't fixed that yet, but I need to. Keep my train brake handy, okay. Got a 5, so we're just gonna coast. Coming down this hill. Or going down the mountain. Just really through here, you don't want to apply your throttle. Otherwise, you could have a possible runaway. Nobody wants that. Just gonna manage our brakes just a little bit. Oh. Now all of your tracks on Derail Valley, they're all pre-made. So you really don't have to worry about it. Worry about making any. But you do have to keep an eye on your gradients. You do have to keep an eye on your speed. Make sure you're not running too fast or else you will derail. Hence the title of the game. Derail Valley. As you can see, I'm slowly managing my brakes. Just easing the train backwards. It's very important that you manage your brakes going downhill. It doesn't take much to lose control of your train. Trust me. And we have to keep an eye on our speed. That is highly important. Because we are rolling backwards. Now we're going to get her slowed down a little bit. As you've probably just seen, map generation is not all that great, so even if you do have your graphics pumped all the way up, your map generation is just not that great. Now we are at Harbor and Town. So we need to go and switch to our station map. So we need to go all the way to Harbor and Town. So we're going to section E. So you want to flip it all the way to E. So we're going to E8I. That's on the inside. And just to confirm that, we're going to go back to our job here. E8I, yep. Now, a great thing about Derail Valley. Watch this. I can actually zip ahead of the train and just check all of my switches. This one needs to be set. Go straight. And we need to flip this one. Go straight on that switch. And we need to turn on that one. Go straight. And we need to turn on this one. And that should put us on track E8I. Which is exactly where we're going. So now all we gotta do is wait on our train to come out here. Now since we're here, we can actually give it a little bit of juice. Come on, girl. Now try doing this in Railroads Online. Backing your train up. I've tried to do this numerous times. I end up derailing. I don't know why. Now with this, there's always plenty of jobs here. Always. Harper Town has plenty of freight yards, including a military freight yard. Now that there is some real money to make. But for now, we're just going to bring this one in. So we got it on the right track, and we're going to hop off right here. And we need to park this train until the very last car makes it to the sign. And brake. And detach. Now, so what do we need to do now? We need to go turn this job in until it's complete. Put it inside the validator. It gives you this. And basically you can just get rid of it because you don't need it. And it gave you 28,000. And just press tab and put that one in your wallet. Now let's look for a job. Something that's quite easy to do. Because we want to go back to steel mail. And I like this one. Now this is a hazmat 2. And it's a long train too. Now, we'll continue. We have fees to pay. That's just for your fuel and maybe whatever damages you do to the locomotive. Let's see. Oh yeah, we have a steam engine. Now, let's hop on in. Now, it's pretty loaded with coal, so that's nice. So you just use your scroll button to slide it open. This here is your throttle. Let's see here, what else am I missing? Your reverser. Backwards, forwards, neutral. Handbrake. We're just going to keep the handbrake on. Now, how do we fire this thing up? First, let's make sure we got plenty of water. Always have water in your boilers. That's a big rule. I've watched enough history in the dark to know that rule. So how do we fire it up? First off, you need a shovel. So you just throw your shovel in there, and then grab your ladder. Now you're probably asking me, where in the world do I even get a ladder and a shovel? You go to a shop and buy one. Both a ladder and a shovel. Now we're gonna let this warm up. And she shouldn't go anywhere. Now you're asking me, where is a shop? A shop is like a blue building. And some places, well, you just gotta go look for it. You're probably wondering, well, I'm here, but where is the shop at? Just look here. And it tells you. So you've got your B and your C tracks. You have a D track, which is right here, I think. Yeah. This is D section. It goes back there, and you got the G section. So it says it's beside the D track. Now you can't always rely on that, unfortunately. So what do you have to do? Just kind of bounce around until you run into it. That's usually how I find it. And sometimes it does take a bit to find it, because it's not always going to be out in the open. You just got to go hunting for a little bit. But you'll know it when you find it. There it is. This is what you're looking for. Looking for a building that says shop. Now, I really wish they had actual items on these shelves, instead of them looking so empty and dull. Now, you do have rare items that pop up every once in a while. Pocket watch, I've already bought that. How do you buy them? You just come here. Now, I already have a shovel and ladder, but we're just going to scan these two. And you just scan your items just like that. And then you deposit your water right here. So we already bought those items, so we don't need them. Now you do have the option to buy your SH282. That's your Mikado quick start guide, which doesn't go into full detail, unfortunately. So we're going to go back to our steam engine. Our engine should be good and warmed up. Let's hop inside here. We're at full pressure. The water's getting low, so it's coming up slowly, so that's good. I want to keep this coal topped off. So, here's your fire temperature. This is your boiler pressure. That's your water gauge. Or your water glass, what you say? What happens if this goes empty? In reality, you run the risk of having a boiler explosion. If you let your boiler go, you let water go too low. So, I've never experienced a boiler explosion in Derail Valley, and personally, I don't want to experience one. Okay. So apparently I had a reverser, I had the throttle all the way engaged. Or, in correct terms, a regulator. That's the nice thing with the turntable. It snaps for you. So let's bring her out. Turntable is set. I like doing that. Now you do have to click and hold with that one. Nice thing about this, there's no stored momentum with these trains. So let's inch her forward just a tad bit. Not should try to tell us the engine's getting cold. Let's get her on the turntable. You don't want to go too fast for this, so right about there. Bonk, bonk. As the tender pushes us forward a little bit. Now we want to go on that track. Come on now. We're lined up. And this one you do have to stay in the cab. Now this is my preferred setting. Just kind of leaning out while you're operating the engine. So it's best to use your key binding controls for this. Now it does take a while to learn on the key binding controls, but like I say, we're going to get her past the switch. Put the brake on, and we're going to hit the switch. Alright, so let's see here. Reverser, reverse, brake off, and give her a little bit of a nudge. And I'm just going to hang up right here. My fire's probably low again, so we will have to check on that. Go ahead and put our brake on right here. Now when you hear the little bells, that means you're getting low on something. Either it's water, or your fire, or your boiler pressure is just dropping way too low. Top that off. Now what do we want to look for? We want to look for HBFH43. So we'll scan for that. If I'm right, it's probably out here somewhere. Huh. Found it right off the bat. So here we are. HBFH43. Now we're going to be shipping cryo oxygen back to steel mill. This is 561 tons. Almost as close as what we were using earlier. So let's go ahead and preset all of our switches. Now this we have to be careful about backing into. Otherwise, our yard is going to be one gigantic bomb. I don't think I want to experience this just yet. Not that I haven't done it. Actually, I have a couple times. But not on this save, no. I did do that on my last save. Alright, so let's grab our engine. Let's back her up. So brake off. Make sure it's reverse. And just nudge the throttle. And we're just going to hang out right here. Because you have to be careful by backing into your trains with this thing. It is touchy. Just back her up at 20. Let's go the other side of the sender, look out. Here's your want to start braking. Okay, we're at an acceptable speed. It's probably like 5 or 4. And bonk. And here's how we manually hook up our trains. Grab that, tighten that. That's getting up already. Prep your lines. And let your air pressure fill up. And now we are hooked up to our train and ready to head back towards Steel Mill. Now, if you want to save money on your routes, so let's get our engine prepped. Make sure our fire's good to go and topped off. Our water is set. Nudge her forward just a tad bit. There we go. Let's get our train moving. Our switches should be set, so let's go ahead and turn in this job. Grab that job. We got it off E10. Heading up to Steel Mill, and we're going to park this train on B3I. That's where we're going. Let's catch our train. Let's measure up to about 25. Get her up to speed. Kind of look behind us, check our train. Check our fire, looks good, but we're going to top it off real quick. Water looks good. Now just kind of glide her around this curve. Check our train back there. Now we can officially take off. Not too fast though. Remember, we're going to keep a speed of 4. This is where we want to start managing our train now. Space, we're going to keep a speed of 40 going up this hill. So let's open up our iron doors, get some draft going. Get our fire nice and hot. Keep our regulator in check as we climb this hill. Let's climb the mountain. Close that. Looks like we're losing a bit of pressure, but that's okay. We just turned on our blower, getting our fire nice and hot. Okay, so now I can kind of fall back on regular a little bit. We're keeping an eye on the fire and water. I like doing that. Now I know the speed changes through here every once in a while, but we're just going to kind of manage our speed. Not going to go too fast. Come back on a regular just a little bit. Yeah, let's close that. We'll need to come back and check it later. Okay, cut back on that entirely. I know it says 7, but I like coming up the mountain at about a 4. You can try looking at this window, but it's not the best view. Keeping an eye on our water and our fire. Losing speed up here. So let's increase our regulator just a little bit. Top off the fire. Now until we get to these tunnels, we're going to keep her at about 40. So there's a 6, we're going to keep her at 40 still. We have one more tunnel to pass through. And then we can let her rip. See why I'm trying to keep it at 40? We just got a 4. So we're set on that a little bit, so let's kick her down a notch. We got one more tunnel to pass through, and then we can open up the throttle. Give our engine some more water. Okay, we got a 7. So now we can start letting our engine pick up speed. Okay, so now we're going to top off our fire. Whoa! Now from here, we can just kind of coast. Let's look back at our job real quick. B31. We got an 8. That's going to change rapidly. Our station map, what does that say? Go back to the steel mill yard. So that's on the main line. Kind of play the air brake just a little bit. So I know that 6 is coming up, but we're already past it. Probably what that sign was, a 6. Oh, there it is. So we kind of lower our speed a little bit by using the air brake. Top off our fire. Make sure we got water. Okay, I can make sure we look good back there. And we aren't going to touch the regulator. And from here, we shouldn't have to worry about our fire. But we'll have to manage our brakes right after this curve. After we hit the switch. Because that'll take us directly into the yard. So we're looking for a B. So B3I. That's what we want. Now that's on the inside of the yard, so it's a third track over. Now we're starting our descent. We have an 8. But we're going to keep it below 60. We are running this train ahead of schedule, so that's good. That's what we want. So we've been given a 6 at the switch. Another 6 going the other way. So we're good on that. We're gonna give it a 5, but we're gonna let her slow down just a little bit. It's gonna creep down to 30, but we're fine with that one. Let's jump ahead of our train now. Now we want B3I. That's this one. And everything else looks good. Hit the brake a little too much. Your brake is still set. Now for this one, we're going to go up to the sign up here. You'll see the back of it. Now we're right there in the middle, next to our rails. And we're going to brake our train right about here. Stop. Perfecto. Let's go with the job validator. And complete what? Are missing. Did I go past the sign? Oh, I probably didn't pull them far enough. And we're still ahead of schedule, so we're good on that. Our train is probably long and it wants us to pull the entire train forward. Come on, girl. Let's check the back of our train, make sure we're all the way on the track. I think we are. Just barely. This train barely fits on this track. Oh wow. Let's try that again. So we got a little bit extra. Let's go ahead and pay our fees. Nicely done. Just like the diesel engine, it also shuts that one completely down. So that concludes this video. If y'all want to see more content like this, like and subscribe to my channel. Until our next video, I'll be seeing you guys around. Happy railroading, folks.